Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Um, Welcome to Community Organizing Workshop. I am Clara Hernandez, and I am a co-director here, CCAT, for a year now, and then I'm actually getting an extra semester. So this is my third semester being a co-director at CCAT, and I'm also the founder of Ecosocial Justice, which is a community organization um, that focuses on the environment and social justice as well. So let's begin. So community organizing. So this workshop is all about the basics and the startups of community organizing and what you're getting yourself into, tips and advice that I've learned from being out there organizing myself. And I'd always like to start with always stay open-minded, because as much knowledge as you can get on social justice, you still can't know everything. So just always stay open-minded. We can never be all-knowing. And I'd also like to mention that I am not all-knowing based on my very little experience on organizing. I'm just going to share what I know and what I've seen and noticed, and maybe what others can agree with, and sharing it with y'all. So yeah, no activist is perfect. We make our mistakes. There's so much to learn, so much to unlearn, so much to learn, that we make our mistakes. And I will admit I have made plenty of mistakes. One really bad one where I'm just gonna say that I was completely on the wrong side. This kind of was brainwashed, you could say, misinformed. And I was misinformed by a person who was a great person, but we couldn't blame that they were on the wrong side as well. So they told me all these things and saying the other side was bad, and I believed them, and I even posted about it. And then I got a message, someone called me out on it. And at first I didn't understand, because the way they called me out was not very inviting, and, but they were right. And so if you ever do get checked, don't get angry, try to understand where they're coming from, and see and do research. That was my bad. I didn't do my research. So do your research, try to see where you're at in the whole thing, and you can, and then you can go from there. So another tip of advice that is actually new for me is to check in with others. So whoever you're working with, whoever you're organizing with, check in on them. Make sure they're good. Make sure they know what they're doing, for one, but mostly just like make sure that they're doing their self-care and that they are not overloaded, because when you're organizing, it's so easy to go overboard, and burnout is so real with when you're community organizing, and I myself am a victim of it. So, and everyone's different. You have to just pay attention, be mindful, and recognize your body. Start learning signals, because your body will tell you when too much is too much. So yeah, so check in with others, make sure they're good and that they're not doing too much, and if you can, maybe help them out, however it may be. And I will say that yeah, I wasn't checking in with, because Ecosocial Justice right now is just mostly me organizing, but I do work with others sometimes. And yeah, I didn't check in with a good friend of mine, and she called me out on it, and it was a good call out. It was like called in, and yeah, I realized that I need to check in with others. So definitely, definitely do that. All right. And then, there's no one way to organize. There are lots of ways to organize, and just let your creativity flourish. I mean, on social media, you can see, I have seen so many creative people doing their own ways of organizing that's never been done before, which is incredible and inspiring. And you can just make it what you want to do. And I like to say this because I've taken a community activism class, and the way they were teaching it, a lot of good stuff, but they were kind of saying like this is the one way to organize. And I didn't like that very much. There's no one way to organize. You can take tips and tricks, but you can do what you want to do. And for me, for example, with ecosocial justice, I'm doing my own thing, and I'm by myself for the most part. And I do it at my own pace, when I want to, whatever I want to, because for me, for ecosocial justice, I just cannot just do one issue. And I just have to work towards, helping out more than one issue, every issue if I can. That's the goal. And I've read uh, organizing a book also, and they were saying that if you want people to donate to your organization, um, you should stick to one issue, because they are more likely to support that one issue than if you know do every social justice issue and environmental issue. But that's okay with me, because I want to be able to fundraise on my own. And if it's harder, then so be it. At least for me, that's fine with me, because I believe in working on all issues. And next, always believe that you can do it, because you can. And really, all it takes is just believing in yourself. I took this little workshop where they help you just let go of grudges, the way you were raised, if it was bad, any other negative things you were holding, just let it go. And then just believe that you can do it. Because think about it, if other people have done, these huge organizations have done these incredible things, won Nobel Prizes, you can do it too. Why can't you? So believe that you can. I believe that you can. And remember, self-care is radical. um, Self-care is, it's a new thing coming out that's spreading, which is amazing, because yeah, with capitalism, they don't want you to self-care, because they want you to work, be productive. But you know what, we don't have to, because before capitalism, um, before colonization, we did not have to work so hard all the time. We self-cared. So self-care is very important. Recognize when too much is too much. You matter. You have to rest, and when you rest, your fight is even more impactful. So remember that, and remember that um, that yeah, just take care of yourself. So now we can jump right into CCAT. So CCAT, the Campus Center for Appropriate Technology. This is a nonprofit organization that is student-led and student-run. So we have 3 students living up above, running the place, and they make it them. So we are making this organization us, because we have our structures, but for the most part, whoever it is that is a co-director um, makes this organization part of them, because they're bringing out their passions, um, and that's how this place evolves. in amazing ways. So yeah, it's a demonstration home for appropriate technology. So what we do is demonstrate um, that living sustainably is feasible, no matter your background, no matter your financial situations. It's accessible for everyone, and that's what we try to demonstrate here at CCAT. And we are very full on community oriented. But I will say that I am saying this mostly in a way that this is what I want for CCAT, because in the past it hasn't always been very community oriented. I mean, it has, but not so inclusive. There is a very large idea that CCAT is a white space, and I agree. CCAT is a white space, and I can tell you right now in a moment just why. They say that when there's brown faces like me, being a co-director here, then it's a white space with brown faces. So it's true, it is. And the reason why is because the way that CCAT's, it's the way that CCAT's hires people was one thing. Like institutionally, it is white. So what I mean by that is the way we hire people is based on experience. And I mean, if you know, I mean, you know, then that people who have the most experience is always going to be white people, you know. They have the privilege, the white privilege, so they're going to always have the experience, they're always going to be able to do internships because, they're more likely to get jobs and more likely to not need to work, all of those reasons. So, so it is a white space, and because it's so environmentally focused, it attracts more white people because they're all about green, because it's mostly white people that get the education about the environment, in places um, like LA, in the ghettos, in the low income areas, we don't get education about the environment. It took me a long time to learn about the environment. So, but during my time here, I've been able to bring out more of the social justice aspect to it because it's there, it's in our mission statements, but it's just doesn't get brought out with certain co-directors because they just don't see it. They only see the environmental aspect. But with my time here, I'm bringing out the social justice aspect because that's just as important. The community matters. We're serving the community and the students and putting them first. And we're in solidarity, and you know, um, so yeah. Um, so what's nice is that I've noticed is that there's a whole generations now from my time here that they see this social justice aspect. They're seeing it, and I've been getting feedback as well that they see a big change, which is incredible because I'm the external co-director, so I do a lot of the outreach, the social media, and right now with COVID times, um, that's all they see because they're not able to come here. So all they see is the media aspect, and I'm all about, um, solidarity and bringing out the social justice aspect. So in other parts of my work here at CCAT, I've been working on decolonizing it. I've already gave a few examples of how I've decolonized CCAT, and another way is Mayday. So Mayday is this holiday. It's a European holiday of the spring equinox and basically the celebration of spring. And basically, they set up this pole, and I guess everyone gets a string and they wrap around it. It's a European tradition. So I realized that I did my research. It's a European holiday, and this is we land here. So what I came up with is we need to abolish it because it's we outland and we CCAT recognizes that. So we must abolish Mayday. We still celebrate spring, but this European tradition had to go. So it's gone. It's abolished and it will never happen here again. And I've managed to upcycle the strings and turn it into a quilt. So now we have a quilt in our living room. Let's see. And other aspects I've noticed is CCAT's cultural appropriation. And, you know, for so long, this CCAT started in 1978. There was nothing but white people going to college during this time. So for so many years, it was nothing but white people being here at CCAT. So, you know, there's plenty of cultural appropriation. So, you know, it's very interesting because one past co-director told me that a native student was upstairs. This is the upstairs restroom. And they saw this quote on the left photo here that is not, that is a native quote, and that it's cultural appropriation. And that probably was a year before when he told him that. So now he told me a year later. So I instantly took action. If a native student is saying this is not okay, it needs to be taken care of instantly. So maybe the next week later, when I had the time, I painted over it and I made sure to write social justice at the top because very easily it can be swept under the rug, the social justice aspect to CCAT, and just the environmental be, you know, the only thing we do here. It's not. So social justice, the top, environmental justice, and economic justice. So definitely want to emphasize that. And so yeah, now it's there every day, all day, and for all the co-directors to see up here. And then another example that I don't have a photo of cultural appropriation that we're currently working on is the yurt. The yurt is, what a yurt means is basically a circular structure. But this particular yurt that we have here on CCAT grounds is a Mongolian style built yurt. So many years ago, I'd say in the 80s, early 80s, they built this yurt, Mongolian style, and it's been around for so long. It's made of upcycled materials. The roof is made of tin cans, glass bottles, and the bottles collect water on the roof and it refracts light. So that's all very incredible and amazing, and we'd love to have that demonstration here. But the fact that it's a Mongolian style building is cultural appropriation. So we need to get rid of it. And that's what we're currently working on. We're taking it down piece by piece. We're gonna still use the materials. We can definitely build something else with it, and we will. So yes, we are going to take that down by the end of the semester. By the time I'm gone, it will be gone. All right, CCAT as a mutual aid. I don't think CCAT has ever been even thought of as a mutual aid. It was during my time here that I see it as a mutual aid because we grow food. You know, we promote others, other organizations work, other campus organizations work, and you know, so yeah, that the goal is to grow and share as much food as possible because we are fully aware that there are people struggling to get food. So that's our goals now, to just grow as much food as possible and share it to those in need. We've been sharing them at the Arcata Mutual Aid farm stands. Both in Arcata, we split it, the harvest in half and take them to both stands. So that's one way. We share resources, we share videos. Once the pandemic hit, we shared some videos, how to make a mask DIY, some pandemic technology workshop we had, other things like that. So just seeing what we can do. Like, for example, another example is when there was a power outage, and people went here to seek refuge because we had the solar power to power, some things. So whatever we can provide, um, as a mutual aid, we'd love to. We can't call ourselves a mutual aid because we can't really, as students, and we have our limits of what we can do, but we can function as a mutual aid. So CCAT and solidarity, as I was saying before, we need to bring out more that CCAT is in solidarity. So other fellow co-directors and I, um, I'll, how do I say, shout out Megan, co-director Megan, whose idea was it to turn the food forest into an art gallery. So we turned it into an art gallery, and my idea to make it radical. So I put up the Justice for Josiah. Which is really cool because it's an upcycled sign from one of those vote for this person signs during the election times, and they just get spray painted over. And I'll give a shout out to that organization. It's Signs for Change. It's a Black-owned operating organization, and you give them a donation and they make you a sign, which is pretty amazing. So I got one, now we have it. And then I upcycled, you could say, this re-out land because, CCAT's a white space, and we need everyone, we need to check ourselves and make it known that we recognize that CCAT is on re-out land. So I made that. And then we found these on the left picture here, this beautiful black art here. We had 3 of those. We have 3 of those, and I found them like pretty hidden deep in the reclamation station, which is where we have building materials that anyone can pick up or drop off that we will use eventually. And they're pretty hidden back there, which is very odd. This beautiful artwork needs to be displayed. So we put it for the food forest, and co-director Abby, shout out to her, put one of them in the very front of CCAT. So I love it there. It's perfect. And we're in solidarity. So another example of solidarity is I decided that I was so involved in the food sovereignty lab and getting it fundraised and going. And I decided that since the food sovereignty lab is just right over that hill there, they need gardening space. If it's a food sovereignty lab, they need to grow their native foods. We have the space. We're not even using these beds. So I wrote up a letter, and we got our other co-directors and supervisors to sign it. And now we have 5 beds for them. So land back. This is in the letter. I was very clear that this is their land. We will never touch it again. It's theirs, and we'll just maintain the weeds around their beds, and we won't touch anything else. And that's it done. And another thing about this is that the yurt is right in this area. So that's another reason that I really, really want to even faster take this yurt down, because now they're going to be gardening with this colonial structure there. No way. We cannot have that. So co-director Abby and I were talking and seeing maybe, just maybe, it'd be incredible if eventually they built their native house structure, and they built it right where the yurt is. How amazing would that be? So we're dreaming, and I would say that most will talk to them, and most likely it could happen. Of course, this is all up to them. This is their land now, but we're just dreaming, and it sounds amazing. Um, and this picture on the right is our link tree, and we have at the very bottom, we got tribe honor tax. So what's amazing about Linktree is that we see how many clicks it's gotten, and then I don't remember exactly the number, but there's definitely been quite a few clicks on that link, which is incredible because this honor tax is basically honoring that you are in Wheatland and you want to pay back something, anything, to honor being on their land. So that's everything about CCAT. Now I just wanted to talk about what I do with Ecosocial Justice. So kind of like the slogan I came up with is community building social environmental impact. That is very broad, and I want it to be broad because I cannot pick one issue like I was saying before. I must do a little bit of each issue. And then I also included US and El Salvador because eventually right now I'm just doing work I can do, but once I graduate and I'm good and ready, I want to start connecting and seeing what I can do to help out my own country, El Salvador. And I have so many goals and dreams, like building rainwater catchment systems for one. I mean, there's a drought, but if there's rainfall at all, I mean, might as well catch it since there's a water issue out there. I want to do trash cleanups out there. There is a trash problem. I want to see if I can help with politics. Let's see, just help out with giving food and resources to those in need out there, which is almost everyone, and just work on it. So that's the dream, the long-term goal. So for now, what I'm doing is, yes, I'm functioning as a mutual aid. I will not call myself a mutual aid because I can't always respond to immediate crisis. I will try to do what I can, but for the most part, will function as a mutual aid. So for now, what I'm doing is eco-social justice, as in I want to show that you can help with social issues and make it to improve or have like an environmental, lens along with it. So for example, what I have here are on the left is thrifted water bottles. I sanitize them very well. I fill them up with alkaline water from small business, and then I make burritos, vegan burritos, and wrap them up in 100% recycled aluminum foil. So it's eco-friendly. And then, yeah, I just hand them out. I drive around in my hybrid vehicle and pass them out whoever wants one. I just ask, would you like a burrito? And, if someone doesn't want it, they won't say yes. So I spot out the unhoused folks and see if they want one. Usually they'll take it and they're grateful. It's amazing. And same with the right side here. It's all thrifted materials. It's amazing what you can find at a thrift store. But yeah, backpacks, umbrellas, things to keep you warm. Put them all, and then it's not in these pictures, but I also get bulk like foods, as in the bulk sections. Just fill them up with some protein snacks and get them all energized. So and then yeah, I put them individualize them with 100% recycled paper bags, and that way it's completely eco-friendly, and they have what they need if they so choose. And I do ask them first. So now I want to talk about fundraising. So with fundraising, what I've been doing is just basically recycling. That's how I've been mostly fundraising. So I am mostly from LA. I am up here in Arcata on Wheatland, for HSU. So I will be returning to LA. And the thing about up here right now during COVID times is that they are not buying recyclables right now, which is crazy because a lot of unhoused folks, this is their only income. Can you imagine, like, their only income just because of COVID are no longer, you know, their income is gone. So, and then that's difficult for me too, as well, because that's my source of fundraising. So I'm still collecting the recyclables, but not until I go back to LA is when I could sell them back. So what I'm doing now then is out of pocket, which I will add that when you're starting up, a lot of things that you do are going to be out of pocket, and it's up to you how comfortable you are, or how accessible it is for you to pay out of pocket. So I put a little bit aside for organizing, and I'm okay with that for for as long as it takes, because my Ecosocial Justice might not get into a big organization. That's fine with me. And if it's not, then that's fine. And if I always have to pay out of pocket, that's fine, because for me, the way I organize, is that's just all right with me. So another way I'm fundraising is upcycling shirts. So thrift some shirts, blank shirts, and then reprint them, which is my sister. She's women-owned business. She got the Cricket, and she's making shirts. She makes stickers. This is some stickers I'm also selling to fundraise 100% directly towards impact. So these particular stickers are the native language of El Salvador, the Nahuatl, the full name. So the popular name is Nahuatl Pipi, but it's actually incorrect. The right name is Nahuatl Cuscatanchene. So their language, I wrote out words in this language and that I'm learning currently, and translate it there at the bottom in Spanish and English. So because it is unfortunately a dying language, I am seeing hope though on media and other places online, researching that it's working on coming back. Children are learning it, but the elders are at risk right now with COVID and everything. So just revitalizing that language is definitely a goal of mine. So Ecosocial Justice in solidarity. So for sure, we are definitely for any movement, for every issue, for all the oppressed. But we definitely want to show that we are in solidarity, and we community building as well. So this is probably one of my favorite things, because right now, like I said, I am on my own doing this organization, but a lot of my work is community building. So I work with other organizations and either volunteer or just help out, or attend their events and promote them, take pictures and send them to them, and just build community. And that way we are in solidarity, and we are just strengthening our cause and spreading the word. And it's been incredible, just this whole experience. And then I just want to show that this is just my way of community organizing. You can make it you can do what you like, and yeah, community building is an incredible thing, to eventually build a coalition, because the more you grow as an organization, the more you community build as an organization, the more you'll grow, and the more these other organizations will support you. And not that you're doing it for that, but it's nice, and you're supporting them, they're supporting you. It's incredible. And as a student, I realized that because this is what I want to do, in the future. So I've realized that I need to organize now and start now because after I graduate, I'm gonna have nothing. So if I organize now, do little by little now, then after I graduate, I will have something. And it's been incredible that, I kind of do have something. I've built community. I've been able I don't know the exact number, but I've probably given out hundreds of burritos and backpacks, which is incredible. So go at your own pace, do your creative flow, and do you, and follow your dreams, follow your passions. So thank you. That's the end of my presentation, and thank you for listening. And I hope this helps. And please reach out at Ecosocial Justice on Instagram, and we can community build, we can connect. I can answer any questions you may have. Thank you.